Kind of like what I told the team after the game. I thought we went in with the right game plan of how could we best put ourselves in position to win. Understanding their personnel, we tried to take Merrill out in a sense, and I thought we did a really good job in the first half. I thought AJ was great guarding them, really holding them to 4 outside of that late 3. I thought that was effective. Playing with a slower pace, obviously having a lead within the first half. Thought TJ grew a little bit tonight as well, especially with the way teams have been playing him and AJ. But, like I told our guys, no matter where you're playing the game of basketball on the college level, it requires 40 minutes of mental and physical focus. And again, I thought the last maybe 3 minutes of the first half, we had some lapses. I thought we came out in the second half okay, but as the game kind of went on and on, I thought we lost some of the young guys' focus in the sense of playing those type of minutes. So.
A lot similar to the last home game, where until the last minute of the first half, you really seemed to be have a game.
Say that one more time, please.
Similar to the last time you played at home.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, I thought they came out with the right energy and effort and followed the game plan to the best of its ability. Like I said, I thought AJ did a great job. I thought we helped off the guys we needed to help off of. Some of the guys that we were willing to allow 3-point shots, we thought they felt for the bait. We took care of the basketball in the first half. I think we only had 3 turnovers in the first half. But I thought it was a 3-minute span within that first half to where they were allowed to do some things, and then the shot that Merrill made at half. Again, just like I told them, it's just that mental mistake of just relaxing can hurt you that quickly, because JJ had just made a shot and then they got it out quick, and we were thinking that, it was already halftime, and the kid made a long shot.
You mentioned the turnovers. You cut those down way down, and you don't hold them to, I think, like 8 points lower than their season average, and JJ's got his best shooting performance in a month, scores 27, which he only scored 55. Another lack of production from other guys. Is that the way they were guarding you, or is that the lack of assertiveness or aggressiveness from the younger guys?
Well, I thought we did a better job in the first half taking care of the basketball, because we only had 3. I thought we had 6 in the second half. At the same time, I thought I didn't think it was more so what they did. I thought they tried to make an adjustment by taking the big kid off of TJ, because we were allowing TJ, well, I would say encourage TJ to be willing and ready to take that shot, and he made them. So then they moved him to, I think they might have, not the big fella, they took him out in the first half actually, because they only played like 10 minutes. But they tried to move their biggest kid on AJ at the end of the day. And my thing to our guys was still being able to move the basketball. Got on Thompson a little bit within the huddles, and even after the game, of understanding that we need his presence a little bit more inside as well, and not to get too comfortable with trying to play or pop to the perimeter. That's more so with how they're playing you, because now teams are now switching his ball screens, which again we would invite, but he has to be a little bit more demanding going inside. And then, I mean, shucks, JJ did what he was supposed to do. I thought Trace had a really good job, did a really good job in the first half with his energy and activity on the defensive end of the floor. I thought maybe he let his offensive production kind of get with him a little bit, because I didn't see the same energy in the second half. But, I mean, still at the end of the day, I told our guys, we have to be ready for battles. Like, we're not winning by 20 points. We have to be ready to fight and win by single digits. And sometimes that's, 5 points, 3 points, 1 point. We got to be ready for those type of fights. But at the same time, understanding no different than us having an 8-point lead. When teams get leads on us, that doesn't mean that, oh, shucks, you know, we still have to be ready to fight. And like I said earlier, it has to be 40 minutes of focus, mentally and physically.
Did they do anything with Merrill to get him going in the second half? Again, after you said, other than that long three, you did a pretty good job. Did they do anything different? Or
no, I thought they still ran their action. I thought, obviously AJ cramping up, had to come out of the game, and our other option at that point was, or what we practiced was putting Hayes on him and making Hayes be the guy that chases him around like that. But then then we had to go zone a little bit because bodies. When we had Thompson and Knott in the game at the same time, we felt like we had to go a little bit more zone. But I think he's a very good basketball player. I didn't think the way we played him frustrated him. I thought they still continued to move the basketball. And, I mean, I can't remember, but I would say probably most of them, of the points probably came within the last 10 minutes. I wouldn't say it was in the first 10, but I thought we did a great job overall guarding them. I just thought we kind of hit a wall. I wouldn't say hit a wall. I thought AJ not being in there on him was effective, and I thought he was a little bit more aggressive coming off screens and trying to attack Thompson going downhill. I thought he had a few of those and allowed him to get to the free throw line. But outside of that, I mean, if you really look at the overall, I thought we did a good job. I know he still ended up with 22, but within that, the way we played him, I thought was the right way.
So is he the reason y'all played so much man tonight?
Well, I think at this point in time, with bodies, it's not about. That's why we play man. We just got to look at the best way to defend our opponents. And like I said to our guys, even getting ready for this game, there may be times throughout the season where we just tell AJ to grab one of their guys and just make it tough on them, and we play 4-on-4. So that to me is getting outside of the box and thinking, how can you put yourself in best position to win basketball games? So we can't sit up there and say, okay, let's just play zone for the rest of the year, or we can't sit up there and say, let's play man for the rest of the year. It's more about what can we do to put ourselves in best position to win. And I thought taking Merle out, which is their best player, and then saying let's play 4-on-4 with the other guys.
You said it was cramps with AJ in the second half. So.
Yeah, it was cramps, nothing major, but I commended him on what he was able to give us. Really commended him because I thought he did a great job making it tough, and again allowing us to even have a lead in the first half. A lot of that was due to what he was able to do, and like I told him, if you really look at statistically from the first half, I mean, they shot under 40% from 2 and shot under 30% from 3. You love those type of numbers. So what we were doing was being effective. So, like I told them, guys, we just got to continue to still fight.
How do you balance when you feel like man maybe gives you the best chance to win versus playing that with just 7 bodies and guys maybe getting tired throughout the course of the game?
Well, I told our guys, my thing is whether it's the injuries or being tired, like I'm tired of those excuses. I'm tired of people asking us about those. It's just the way it is. Like we got to figure it out within that. And I said to them, don't tell me you were tired, because JJ held the ball at the top of the key for 10, 15 seconds before we did anything. I even stopped running motion so guys wasn't moving. So I told them, please stop using that excuse. Like, that's your time to take a break, and then just give it to us all on the defensive end of the floor. And I didn't think that happened more so in the second half, but I'm not buying into the fatigue, to be honest with you. I thought the way we played. Now, if we were playing this way and we were going up and down and we're playing man and we're doing all that stuff and you're playing with 7 bodies, I get it. You're tired. But if every time we rebound, we walk the ball up and we stop running our motion offense, and then JJ is holding the basketball, like that's time to take breaks right there. Like, you're not moving, you're resting, but we still have to be able to give it to us for 40 minutes on the defensive end of the floor.
Is this the slowest tempo that you coached at?
I mean, I was here with Coach Shai,
yeah.
So I mean, I've been around it in the sense of understanding the tempo. But even when I was here under Shy, and I tell people this all the time though, there's a difference between playing 7 and having 7. There's a big difference within that. So even under Shy, we played 7, but we had more bodies. But only having 7, thought that was different. And I told the radio crew, it was funny because TJ has got his 3rd foul, and they were telling me Trace was tired, and they were telling me, well, we need to get those 2 guys out of the game. And I said, well, who you want to put in? Okay, well, they're going to stay out there. It was that simple.
You mentioned, it is, you got the 7 guys it is, but how hard also is it just to practice? And not just practice, but get good looks. Get what you need from the opponents as an elite player, or even just get the work in and continue to grow young guys. I mean, how no, you're not going to make excuses for how much the challenge is that, and what are some of the biggest challenges of that?
Well, you don't have 10 bodies sometimes. Coach K is having to get out there and practice as well. But I just think you have to be creative, at the end of the day, breaking it down and having guys get a workout in, having them play, knockout in the sense of one-on-one, so they get used to defending the basketball and, like we would say, guard your yard. And then doing breakdown drills 3-on-3, 4-on-4, because we have Bradley, and now obviously we have Hayes. So we have to do a little bit more of that. And then when we're trying to get to 5, I'm not out there like that, but I've stepped out there a few times just to add to the bodies so we can get a look. But like I told them, this is the hand, fellas, and this is what we got to do. This is what we got to play. And I commend them all the time, though, because they do come to practice with the right attitude. They do not come in there with sob faces. They do not come in there with this again. They come in there, and I think the energy is really, really good, and we get a good hour and a half, hour and 45 in of a workout.
So how will you approach this week with the week off between games?
We'll take tomorrow off. The rest we'll get back out on Monday, and we'll practice. Probably non-contact, but just a lot of cardio, dummy offense, defensive fast break drills, and then we'll take Tuesday off. I'm actually going out recruiting, and then Wednesday we'll have workouts. I'll still be on the road, but I'll get back in Thursday, and we'll start our preparation for New Mexico.
What's kind of been the response from recruits when you talk to them just about the way the season's going?
Oh, it's been positive. I mean, at the end of the day, if you understand the game of basketball, they kind of laugh sometimes when you say, well, we only got 7 guys. And you tell them, you kind of give them a background on what's going on. Even from a standpoint, because the biggest sell is, the scores are the way they are, or we're not playing the way we're accustomed to playing because of the bodies. And kind of go down the line. And sometimes, to be honest with you, after having phone conversation with recruits, it kind of brought it to my attention when I started naming bodies. And I was like, oh, wow, there is a lot of guys at the end of the day. But when you're going down that process of recruiting, you're still selling your program, selling what you're doing. The young men in our program, especially when we have guys on campus for official visits, I think they do a great job of selling the program. I'm not saying it's hard, in a sense of recruiting. Is it difficult sometimes? Yes, just because, but it's difficult whether or not, we're banged up or not. It's still difficult in a sense. And anybody can say that, because recruiting is a different ball game all around anyway.
Which I know you didn't start off tonight. Was that just matchups of the guys that have you been ill, or was something going on? Did you just feel like it was a best?
Well, he didn't practice the last 2 days because a groin or something. He pulled, because he didn't play only 10 minutes against San Diego State. And he said he couldn't play because of a groin, and he's been doing treatment with our trainer Dallas, met with our doctors to figure out what was going on. Didn't feel like he was capable of getting out there and practicing. So TJ was practicing. And I felt like this scenario was a little different than Hunter Maldonado's situation. But, he didn't practice the last 2 days. He went through shoot-around today, but, but still, at the end of the day, he had to get out there at some point because of his size and being another body. So I could not play him, I guess.